What's up, tribe? Thank you for being here and welcome to my channel. Today's post is titled Depth and it starts the month dedicated to the constellation of Scorpio. And with 4 placements in Scorpio in my chart, I'm a little excited, I can't lie. So let's get started, shall we? As this is a dialogue between Matias and his higher self, I'll be referring to Matias as me and to his higher self as I am. Me. Today we begin the month dedicated to the constellation of Scorpio. In the preconception that we have of this sign, we usually classify Scorpios as dark, sexual people with overwhelming intensity, in a certain way manipulative and fervent enemies who know how to find the weaknesses of others to press where it hurts the most. Is this so, or is it a perception? I am. Everything is a perception. The constellation of Scorpio was previously known as the eagle, who had the power of the heavens to see everything. But because of his pride, he was expelled from the heavens to inhabit under the earth, in the pressure of the mud, in the depths of the ocean. His punishment would be to stop flowing in the air, to bury himself under the dirty waters and pressure of the world. There, the eagle became a scorpion, sentenced to live by crawling on the ground. Tell me, what is the greatest gift of the eagle? Me, the vision, being able to see everything from above with clarity. I am, well, his vision, capable of making him see all the forms in the world from miles away, had to adapt to seeing in the shadows, in the densest darkness, to seeing beyond the forms, inside and through them. His new environment only perfected his ability to see, not from the light, but from the shadows, what is usually invisible to others. His punishment, in fact, became his strength. As long as others saw the shapes of the world around him, the scorpion would have the ability to see through them, their shadows. The eagle's ability to contemplate made its weakness its greatest ability. Do you remember the 3 great spheres that interact in the universal mind? Me, yes. The conscious, the unconscious, and the subconscious. I am. Well, imagine again that the subconscious is the ocean. The unconscious is its cold and warm currents. And the conscious is that being swimming in the sea. Now, the conscious is the one who has a purpose, the one who looks at the horizon and sets a goal, the one who knows where he's going, uses the currents in his favor to move through the subconscious, but does not know what in the ocean. Is it too big and makes you lose focus on your goal? Imagine the swimmer as that eagle from the heavens, saw the entire horizon of the sea, but does not know what is under it. As he plunges into the abyss, he suddenly becomes the ocean, no longer seeing a single point miles away. And now he simply feels the miles on every part of his skin. Me, From the subconscious, it stops being a simple point, swimming in one direction, and becomes the ocean. I am. So you see everything through the shadows, from the depths. For Scorpio, the spirit no longer flies through the skies in the crown over the head, but expands through the abysmal depths of the subconscious, in the feet, legs, and genitals, in the densest and darkest part of the being, where I can feel it all. Me. So it seems that Scorpios are looking through you, analyzing your soul, reaching the depths of it. I am. People tend to hide in the shadows everything that produces insecurity, fear, shame, pain, all the traumas that denied is hidden in the shadows due to the inability to face it, to look into his eyes and work on it. The human is a being built in history through fear. The subconscious hides all the things that we do not want to face, that we leave for another moment, that we have inherited and do not know. It is the trunk that we do not want to open. In the depths of the soul, information is hidden that would make us lose our personality, what we have built, because there's no destination. There's no one who tells where to go. There, everything is mixed, meaningless, and it is easy to get lost. Fear makes humans comfortable, following others, creating leaders, teachers, characters who tell us what to do and how, to protect us, to make us feel part, because being alone would imply having to hear those voices that lie in the shadow of our being. They produce discomfort. They show what you do not want to see. They confuse. They give insecurity. There is madness, losing the access, forgetting who one is. There is what we fear to see of ourselves. Me. And facing him is the dark night of the soul. I am falling into the very jaws of the shadow, among all that we have been denying for centuries. The great problem that humans have is that by projecting the good of God in the sun, in the cosmos, in the heavens, they move away from the center of all things, at the core of the world. And as we have spoken, the external is experimentation, expansion, where I discover what I am capable of. However, then I must return to the center, to what I truly am, to the depths of existence, where I meet the I am with the truth. And the only way to achieve it is to come down from the clouds, put your feet firmly on the created reality, and go to the center, to the depths. There, in search of the neutral point of all things, you go through the pressure of the world. You get muddy. You enter the dark caverns of the earth, where you must face the diabolical shadows of the world, the distortion, and go through them until you recognize that they are your projections. And there, then, you face your own creations, fears, darkness, the crisis of being, the night of the soul. And when going through it, also you find the center. The human considers freedom to feel flying in the clouds, expand into the cosmos where you do not feel pressure, but nevertheless, you are a prisoner of gravity. The false sense of freedom, when expanding, makes them slaves of returning again and again to worlds with great force of gravity. But in the center, all forces are neutralized. All forces are equal to zero. Remember? The more pressure, the more crisis, and the more you live your shadow, the closer you are to neutrality, at the point that originates them, where you can no longer feel pressure. Me. And it's a Scorpio who shows us that way? I am. Therein lies the key to this month that we are beginning to face. Are you willing to go deep? Will we not dare to hit rock bottom? Do you have the will to go through the dark night of the soul? Depth comes from the Latin ability to go deep. Me. I remember you told me that the spirit is a being or aspect that does not seek to be spiritual because it is absurd to seek to be what it already is. The spirit seeks to experience what it can do, what it is capable of creating. For this reason, the spiritual mind seeks to be born to descend into the mud, since the lotus flower only blooms in the mud. Ow. I'm just remembering one of the readings, and it was, and the lotus flower came up. And I remember I was saying that this person thought that they weren't beautiful, but they weren't beautiful because of their background, because of the mud. But it's exactly that. It's the mud that made them so beautiful. Anyway, back to the block. Since the lotus flower only blooms in the mud, without birth experience, without the pressure of the world and life, the spirit does not understand, does not learn, does not evolve. I am. In order to flourish, it will be necessary for us to spread deep roots, to get our hands dirty, going into the profound. Today, the crown chakra stops shining like a sun and contracts like the core of a world, cutting through the crushing heat of magma until it becomes the iron center of the earth. The light chakra will become shadow and deep darkness. Scorpio's ability is to remind us that alchemy is in the ability to turn poison into medicine. We all have poison inside of us. We are all polluted by the distorted shadows that we have hidden inside our bodies and souls for millennia. The paradox is that the same poison is the key to healing. Denying it makes us live trapped in its toxins. The Scorpio skill is to go deep, contemplate the poison, and be able to turn him into the medicine that heals the soul. Remember that in Indo European, the concept to be capable is said mag, origin of the word magic. This month will remind us that we are all magicians. That is, that we are all capable. But for this, we must know how to use the arts of magic. That is, see in the dark, use it, go through it. Me, why is this month's attribute desiring? Saying, I wish. What is desire? I am. Desire comes from the Latin de and sedere, which simply means to be seated. Sitting in turn comes from sedentary, which gives rise to the word sedentary. That is, it lives in one place. Desire, then, is the attribute of feeling the comfort of staying in the same place, of leisure, of pleasure and feeling. The libido, of remaining in constant pleasure. The lower chakras speak to us of territoriality. Just as animals urinate and defecate, marking territory, we use the same parts of the body to settle on a terrain. Sex hormones are embedded in natural elements, like a fingerprint. To go deep is to reach the center where everything converges, remaining fixed. In contemplation, Scorpio speaks, then, of remaining in the shade, in feeling and contemplating. Me, this implies that we will talk about issues that will make us uncomfortable, right? I am. Yes. If you want to find the axis of being, it is inevitable to first find comfort in what despairs us. Me, that is something very Scorpio. The black or dark humor, as they say, related to death, the uncomfortable, taboo subjects. Spiritualism. In the world of consciousness, the Scorpio energy is usually understood as the medicine that makes us spiritual and meditative, that connects us with magic, the ancestral, the ceremonial. But nevertheless, there is a suspicion to face the shadows, the demonic, the dark, the shadows of the soul, the most hidden desires of the subconscious. I am, because they still don't know that shadows are creators of matter, and that the only way to go to the origin is through the shadows. To face them is to immerse yourself in the subconscious that contains all things. Go beyond fear, shadow, prejudice, false spirituality, painted in pink colors. It is necessary that this month we filter our souls. It is essential that this month we face the darkest shadows, the madness, the schizophrenia, the most depraved and twisted desires that are hidden in their bodies, the most painful traumas, the grudges, hatreds, and tears accumulated. It is time to get muddy, to get dirty, because whoever wants to plant a new tree and sow a seed of consciousness must dig a well in the ground, get their hands dirty with mud, smell and handle the compost, collect the worms, admire the darkness of the earth's humus, The blacker the earth, the more fertile it will be for our tree and its fruits. Me, it will be a difficult month. I am, only if you resist. Are you afraid to see the shadows that cover your essence? Me, I have faced them several times. I am not afraid to go to the depths anymore, but my lack of fear has not made me feel superior to the shadows, but I learned to honor and respect them, something that I would like to help others with. I have almost all of my important planets from my birth chart in the house 8, the house of Scorpio. So for me, it's a natural terrain, which has allowed me to have the gift of spirituality, of channeling, of going deep without denying my shadows, but enjoying them. I am. Thus, when we manifest the desire of the self, we can turn its concept of idleness into the ability to find our place, sitting where we belong. Me, in the I am, I therefore manifest my desire to immerse myself in the depths of the subconscious, thus finding the liberation of my soul from the poisons that I myself have created. I am. I am the spiritual eagle that launches itself into the void. I am the scorpion that becomes that void. Me, to stop seeing appearances and see through shapes. I am. I am depth. Me, and for her, I will find the truth of who I am